and transformations. So as a reminder, yesterday we looked at the amplitude, that number out in front. So it's the absolute value of that number, and it's half the distance between the max and mins. But today we're going to do a shift. So you see, just like before, we have this plus d, which we had on things like y equals x squared plus 2. You said it moved up 2, or if it was minus, you moved down. That is the same way on a sine and cosine curve. It moves it up and down, and that moves our midline up and down. So that is our value of y equals d becomes our midline because it shifts up or down. We can also change our cycle, our wavelength. And our wavelength is 2 pi over the b value, which means our frequency, which is the reciprocal, is b over 2 pi. And remember, our frequency is how many times in 1 radian our period cycles through. So if we need to identify these, the following here. Our amplitude, that number out in front, the absolute value is 3. That's our b value, so our period is 2 pi over 2, which is pi. Our midline, there isn't anything, so it's 0. Our frequency would be 1 over pi. Our max value, since our midline's at 0, would be 3 and negative 3. So now we have to figure out, what does this look like? Well, it's sine. So I know sine starts in the center. And I also know the period is pi. So it comes back. A full cycle is at pi. Well, I know it goes up and then back to the middle. So I know it's going to go up first. And right in the middle of this, it would be back in the middle. So this is going to be high and low. So high, mid, low, mid. And then we could keep it going again. All right, so our next one, our amplitude, the absolute value of our A value is 2. What is our B value on this one? Well, it's 1/2. So 2 pi divided by 1/2. So 2 pi times the reciprocal, 2 over 1 is 4 pi. So our frequency is 1 over 4 pi. Again, our midline is 0, so that means our max value is 2 and negative 2. So where do we know a cosine starts? Well, it usually starts high, but it's at negative 2, so it starts low. And it's going to be back at 4 pi. But you'll notice I don't have all the way out there yet. So halfway through the cycle, I know it's going to be at 2 pi, right? Because if all the way, it'll go high and come back down and be way out here at 4 pi. So I know halfway between that, it's going to be at 2 pi. Half of that would be at pi. So going backwards, it's got to be the same. All right, so the next one we're going to take a look at, they have some shifts here. So our amplitude is 2. Our period, this is a 2 pi divided by 1/2. So 2 pi times 2 over 1 is 4 pi. So our frequency is 1 over 4 pi. But our midline here is at 1. So our max value, well, 2 above that would be at 3. Our min value, 2 below, is at negative 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dash in our midline. And then I know it goes up to 3 and down to negative 1. So this is a sine. So sine is going to now start at our midline at the center. And our period's 4 pi. So this is one, again, it's kind of tricky because it has to go through a full cycle at 4 pi. So at 2 pi, it's only halfway. And a reminder, our sine, there's our full cycle. So halfway at 2 pi, it would be right back here. At pi, it would be at our high point of 3. And so it's got to go down here and then back to the middle. Now this one's written in a slightly different way. So let's rewrite this as negative 4, the cosine of 2x. And let's put that plus 3 at the end. So our amplitude is what's right before, so it's 4. Our period would be 2 pi divided by 2, which is pi. But our midline here is 3. our frequency, 1 over pi. So our max value, well, if our midline is 3, 4 above that is 7, 4 below it is negative 1. So again, I'm going to dash in our midline. 5, 6, oop, well, 7's up here. 1, 2, what did I do? Oh, I think I put it too high, didn't I? Our midline is at 3. Okay, I was like, this somehow isn't working. So there's our midline. 1, 2, 3. So this is at negative 1. Cosine. Well, cosine is going to start at negative 4. And let's see, our period is 5. So it comes back down here at, it'll be back here at pi. So that means halfway as it reaches the height. So that's at 7. So then it'll be right here in the midline. So then it's going to go back up to our midline. All right. So this would be go to our midline, high, midline, low, midline, high, midline, low. And we have it.